The rain poured in relentless sheets outside St. Mary's Hospital in Phoenix, Arizona. The night had dragged on, and Amelia Carter, a nurse with over 10 years of experience, sat behind the reception desk sipping what had long stopped being hot coffee. Her eyes were heavy, the weight of exhaustion tugging at her, but she pressed on. Another night shift. Another long stretch of worry and weariness. Nothing unusual. Until the automatic doors hissed open. She looked up, expecting maybe a paramedic team or a frantic parent. Instead, her mug slipped from her hands and shattered on the tile. Conversation stopped. Time itself seemed to hold its breath. A lion stood in the entrance. Soaked from the rain, its golden mane clung to its powerful body, water dripping onto the floor. It didn't roar. It didn't move. It simply stood there, staring calmly into the hospital lobby. But that wasn't what froze Amelia in place. In the lion's jaws, cradled gently in a cloth, was a baby. The silence in the hospital turned to hushed gasps. A security guard stepped forward, reaching for his radio. Another hovered by a tranquilizer rifle. But no one dared act. The lion took one careful step forward, then another. Its claws clicked softly on the tile. Its amber eyes didn't blink. It walked straight toward Amelia. Each step deliberate. Each movement strangely serene. It stopped in front of her, lowered its head, and carefully placed the bundle on the floor. Then it stepped back, sat on its haunches, and waited. Amelia dropped to her knees, hands trembling as she peeled back the soaked blanket. A gasp caught in her throat. A baby, no older than a few days. Pale skin, blue-tinged lips, chest rising and falling with weak, labored breaths. She shouted for the pediatric team, her voice slicing through the fog of confusion. The staff jumped into action. A nurse ran for the incubator. Doctors rushed in. The lion never moved. It just watched. As the baby was carefully lifted and carried away, Amelia glanced back at the creature. The lion's gaze followed the baby until it disappeared into the hall. Then its eyes returned to Amelia. No one moved. No one knew what to do. Dr. Marcus Green pushed through the crowd, his expression tight with disbelief. What the hell is going on? Amelia turned to him. It brought the baby. It walked in, placed the baby on the floor. It knew. The chief physician stared at her, then at the lion. Rainwater pooled beneath its body. It looked almost peaceful. A guard raised his tranquilizer. Amelia stepped between him and the lion. No, it saved a life tonight. Dr. Green held up his hand. Stand down. The lion didn't wait. It turned, walked slowly back toward the doors, paused at the threshold, and glanced back. Just once. Then it was gone, swallowed by the storm. Moments later, a nurse rushed over, breathless. This was in the baby's blanket. She handed Amelia a small gold locket. It was old, slightly tarnished. Amelia opened it. Inside, a photo, an unfamiliar woman holding a baby, smiling softly. On the back, an inscription. For Anna. Protect him. No matter the cost. The neonatal unit buzzed with quiet urgency. Doctors worked quickly. Monitors beeped. Machines hummed. Through the glass, Amelia watched the baby's tiny chest rise and fall with more strength now. Dr. Green returned. Dehydrated. Hypothermic. But no injuries. He's going to be okay. Whoever brought him here saved his life. Amelia still clutched the locket. But who is he? Where did he come from? That lion. It didn't just show up. It knew. A voice crackled over the intercom. Security to the main entrance. We have a situation. Amelia moved fast. The front lobby was no longer empty. Police cars parked just outside. Reporters. Flashing cameras. People whispering. A crowd had already gathered. Carl, head of security, stood near two officers. He just showed up, he said as Amelia approached. Says he's looking for his son. Claims he knows about the lion. The man standing just outside the doors was soaked. Hair disheveled. Face hollowed with grief and desperation. In his hand, a photograph. Amelia stepped forward. I'm Nurse Carter. You said you're looking for your son. He held out the photo. It was the same woman and baby from the locket. But this time, the man was in the picture too, his arm wrapped around the woman, pride in his eyes. My name is David. That's my wife, Anna. She died 3 days ago. We crashed in the storm. I tried to find help, but when I came back, the baby was gone. Amelia's breath caught. Your wife's name was Anna? David nodded. She gave me this. He pulled out a matching locket. Said it would protect him. She opened her hand, showing him the one she found. David's knees buckled. He's here. He's safe. David stared at her. But how? Amelia hesitated. A lion brought him to us. His eyes widened. A lion, he repeated. She nodded slowly. Walked in with your son in its mouth. Left him here. Then walked away. David covered his mouth with his hand, voice trembling. Solomon. Solomon, she asked. My wife grew up near a wildlife sanctuary. There was a lion she loved. Raised him when he was just a cub. Said he was different. Smart. That he knew things. Before she died, she told me, if anything happened, Solomon would protect him. Tears streamed down his face. Amelia didn't know what to say. She just nodded. Your son's alive because of her. Because of that lion. Inside the neonatal unit, David stood at the incubator, staring down at his son. He couldn't stop crying. His hand pressed to the glass. He looks just like her. Amelia stood beside him, eyes fixed on the baby. It wasn't just fate, David said. It was her. Somehow she knew. No one understands it, she whispered. But maybe we don't need to. He turned to her. Thank you. I don't know how to repay you. You don't need to. Love got him here. As the sun rose the next morning, Amelia stepped out of the hospital. The storm had passed. The air smelled clean, fresh. She walked to the edge of the lot, heart aching with questions. And then she saw him. Standing beneath the trees at the edge of the forest was Solomon. He looked at her. Still, majestic, calm. For a moment, their eyes locked. A silent goodbye. Then he turned and disappeared into the woods. Amelia stayed there, long after he was gone. The locket still warm in her hand. Some stories aren't meant to be explained. Some bonds go beyond nature, beyond understanding. On that stormy night, a lion didn't just deliver a baby. He fulfilled a promise.